So as you guys know by now, Jimmy Kimmel just had his show indefinitely suspended after he made a joke about a video showing how little Donald Trump actually cared about Charlie Kirk dying. This was the exact clip.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction.
Now, unless you're just fucking retarded, there was nothing about what he said that was directly or indirectly making fun of Charlie Kirk. And even if it was, dead people get made fun of all the time. It's just that this one happened to be close with our president, who I like to call Trump Jong-un, trademark. I came up with that. But everyone was like, oh my god, I can't believe he just said that. You guys will scream the N-word to a black person and then say free speech, but when someone says something about someone you like, you guys actually get so mad that you will complain like a bunch of bitches until you get your way. Which is hilarious, considering how much the people who like Trump all say the other sides are snowflakes because they can't handle a little criticism. Your leader replaced Sesame Street with Jewish-specific children videos. Newsflash, dog, this isn't fucking Israel. If I wanted to learn something about someone's culture, it's not gonna be from a company that teaches kids being a slave is better than dying.
Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no?
You know, neither was also an option. It wasn't like having slaves was in the fucking blueprints for America. They're like, yes, see? Slaves. And only the dark ones. What? Let me see that. What are you talking about? No, it's okay. No. Trust me, it says right there, only the dark ones. And you have to kiss the captain? Like, no, slavery was a product of some very hateful people who didn't want to spend money. God forbid the white man wants to spend a little money. And while we don't have a widespread slavery problem anymore, those hateful people are starting to pop back up in the form of our fucking president. I have hated politics since the day I was asked who I wanted to vote for. I don't know, dog. There's a new episode of Total Drama Island coming on. I'm not gonna miss that. They got is that what you're talking about? They vote out who. Is that the kind of voting you're talking about? No? Fuck off. But whatever Trump has been doing these past 9 months is literally the reason I hate politics. I have had my eBay account since 2013, and I have never had to pay an extra import fee on top of what I'm already being charged from ordering something overseas. Who is that good for? The price is going up for them, making the consumer not want to buy anything from them until... When are these 4 years up? Until then. But the fact that Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel both had their shows taken down because Donnie Donuts isn't quick enough to come up with a comeback on his own is both hilarious and scary. Instead of trying to make America great again, he's literally turning us into the next North Korea. Do you understand how many people were talking shit about Obama, not even just because he was black, but because his middle name was Hussein? The fact that he was born in Hawaii and he did nothing. He didn't sue anyone, he didn't make the N-word illegal, he took it on the chin the whole 8 years. So Trump gets shown a video of himself not caring about the death of his so-called friend, and his old man vagina starts to get agitated. Like, what the fudge is actually going on? Like, do you realize this is what MAGA was cheering for back in February of this year?
The left wanted to make comedy illegal, you know? Yeah. Like, you can't make fun of anything. So then it was like, comedy sucks. It's like, nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like, legalize comedy. Yeah!
I still can't watch that without throwing up in my mouth a little bit. But you see what I mean? This is when Elon was deep inside the asshole of Trump. This was his dark MAGA saga. He had a fucking chainsaw with him. But oh no, say something about Donnie testicles and you're done for. Or like, how about when Trump said this?
After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
The amount of people this guy fooled into thinking he would even do a fraction of what he said he was going to do is probably the reason we don't have flying cars yet. Like, the Jetsons had it right. We were supposed to have this advanced society, but we never really knew how dumb our society was until the chosen one was put in charge. And by chosen one, I mean a fatter, more orange Neo from the Matrix. Basically like if Morpheus was fat and a white guy and with a comb over. Imagine Trump as Morpheus, JD Vance as the clone dude, and then the movie never comes out. But regardless of what side you're on, this isn't good for anyone. Like, you guys notice how even the people who like Kim Jong-un have a shitty life? Just because the fat guy in charge says something doesn't mean it's true, especially when our literal leaders were saying stuff like this just months earlier, only to act like this wasn't on national television.
Our own government encouraged private companies to silence people who dared to utter what turned out to be an obvious truth. So I come here today not just with an observation, but with an offer. And just as the Biden administration seemed desperate to silence people for speaking their minds, so the Trump administration will do precisely the opposite.
This guy's mom snorted heroin, and we're supposed to trust a heroin baby? This is the same guy who cries himself to sleep knowing that this is the most famous picture of him. But yeah, guys, I don't even care about politics. I've never voted. But with that being said, when someone like me is even noticing how shit things are going to get before we actually realize we're going in the wrong direction, then you know we're this close to being fucked. This close. Like, every time Trump does something that goes against basic American rights, I like to think of us as Randy Marsh getting arrested, being like, I thought this was America.
Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
That is exactly how Jimmy Kimmel was taken out of the building once they told him the bad news. And look, it's only a matter of time before Donnie Duncan does something that actually pisses off the people who support him just as much as they hate the people against him. But until then, we just have to wait and see which straw will break that camel's back. This incredibly buff camel that for some reason won't have its back break. Until later today, peace.